today we're here with another Healthy Life segment with Miss Toungett. Miss Toungett, what are we doing today?
Hey, the weather has been quite dreary and Super Bowl is coming up, so what I was thinking is we would make some turkey burgers.
Sounds good.
We're gonna do sliders, and so that way you can make them for your party and feed everybody.
Okay, so what are the steps of making sliders?
Okay, so first of all, we do need to get burgers in the oven. With rainy days, of course we prefer to grill them out, but since the weather's got us down, we can broil them in an oven. It's a way of cooking with direct heat right in our house. And so first of all, we do need to patty out the hamburgers. What I have here is about a pound of ground turkey. I do have the 85-15 lean to fat ratio because with burgers you do want a pretty high fat content, so that way the burgers are going to be nice and juicy. And remember, we're only doing sliders, so we're going to do probably about a 2 tablespoon size, and we're going to patty that out. Now we are just going to sprinkle over the top some of our seasonings. Of course, this is where you can get as creative as you want. If you wanted to do like a buffalo style turkey burger, you would make the buffalo sauce at the end, but you would still start off with these basic seasonings. And I always love minced onion. Even if you don't like onion, minced onion has a great flavor that I'm sure you have had in sauces before.
Now, you use minced onion, is it healthy to use original onions on your burger too?
Yes, absolutely. You know that one of my favorite things to teach you is vegetables, and we'll get to vegetables in just a bit. But the minced onion, not only does it add some extra nutrients to the burger, it also adds some great flavor. We are gonna add some granulated garlic. It's kind of like a garlic powder. Whenever you're buying garlic powder, make sure you buy the powder and not the salt. Another thing, as you're sprinkling seasonings, a good way to get a good even coat is to sprinkle as high as your face. If you sprinkle down low, you're gonna get great big old clumps of seasoning and you'll get a bite of pure garlic, which is not as good as if you have a nice even tone.
Now what's the difference between garlic salt and garlic powder?
So the garlic salt is gonna have salt in the mix, but Americans eat too much salt. And so if you get the garlic powder and you add as much garlic as you want, you can control the amount of salt and the type of salt that you get. Okay, so I like sea salt, and then I add poultry seasoning. Okay, so seasonings will actually add no fat and little to no calories, and so they are there just for taste. But seasonings also, a lot of them have some extra nutrients, so they provide us with some extra nutrients with no calories, which is kind of what we want as far as superfoods are concerned, because we want as little calories with the most nutrients possible. Okay, so we have our oven already preheated, and we're gonna stick these in for 3 minutes. Another thing about broiling is it does use the direct heat in order to cook it, which means that you don't want the complete oven filling up with heat. And so when you broil, you have to be super careful, but you do leave the oven cracked just a little bit. While these are in the oven, this is a great time to prep all of your veggies. And so some of the veggies that I recommend with some turkey burgers are Roma tomatoes. Roma tomatoes are just the right size in order to fit perfectly on the burger. I also have an onion, and I like to color code my vegetables over here. If you chose to do the buffalo style, celery and carrots pair great with that. I have some roasted jalapenos that I've I fixed up. We got some lettuce. I always use romaine instead of iceberg because romaine have more nutrients than a typical lettuce. And then avocado and onions are some of my other favorites. So avocado adds the fruit aspect to a burger, and it helps to make your whole burger a complete balanced meal. But avocado is a superfood. It's packed with so many great health benefits that if you can eat it by itself, if you can add it to anything, I would absolutely recommend it. Now with the onion, we want to just cut a piece to where it stands up straight, and then slice it in half so that way we have better control. Otherwise your onion's going to be rolling all over. Another thing about an onion, after you cut off the main parts, then you can peel that layer of onion skin that you're not going to want to eat. And once you get a good nice size, you can just slice your okay. So typically when you take it out of the oven, you want to let your meat rest for a couple of minutes, at least 3 with these, since we cook it for 3 on both sides. You want to let it rest for at least 3 minutes, and that helps it be like the tender, juicy product. It helps to absorb any juices that had gone onto the pan. So again, on this side, we are going to add our little flavor. I was gonna call it a trio, but it's really a quattro because we have the onions. All right, and we are gonna go back into the oven for another 3 minutes. We do have some cheeses over here. I like to give them the option of cheddar cheese, Colby Jack, or pepper jack, and these are 3 very different options, but I like my cheese melted on my burger. And so once the 3 minutes is done on this side, mine personally, I will melt it on. If I have guests that are already over, I will ask them, do you want your cheese melted? What type of cheese? But if I'm fixing it before everybody gets there, I will just make a trio of options and let them choose it by their veggie platter. Okay, so if you've ever taken my class, you know that I preach wheat over white every day. The beautiful news is that Hawaiian brand rolls now makes a wheat version. So they must have did this for me. We're gonna go ahead and slice up the bread, and so you can go ahead and break them up into their individual squares, and then you want to slice in half, but you don't want to slice all the way through. So probably about 3/4 of the way through, and so that way you have a little slider that the bread stays together, and it's a lot easier to find its little mate when people are building their little turkey slider burgers. Alrighty, and so I'm gonna pull out our turkey burgers. They are a nice, beautiful color. In order to double check, because poultry is something that typically carries salmonella, so you don't want to serve your guests undercooked burgers. We are going to pick the fattest burger, which it looks like this guy right here, and we're going to cut into it and make sure that there is no pink on the middle, which you can see here there is not. I cook with olive oil when I saute, and so I just put them in a skillet, put some olive oil down at the very bottom, let it get hot, and then slice the jalapeno into pretty thin slices and sauteed them until they started to turn a little golden brown. Nope, not with jalapenos. They have all the seasoning they need. Good question. All right, and so And there you have it. It's the cutest little turkey burger ever and super nutritious for you. So I hope that Super Bowl goes your way, your team wins, but I also hope that your belly gets full and everybody's happy.